Association executives, please join me in welcoming to the stage a powerhouse of inspiration and expertise, KenMiller. Since April 2010, Ken has captivated audiences across the United States as a nationally recognized author and speaker specializing in resilience, trauma, and overcoming setbacks. His dynamic workshops and presentations have not only inspired, but also empowered countless individuals to navigate and triumph over life's challenges. Prepare to be enlightened and motivated as Ken shares invaluable insights drawn from his vast experiences. Let's give a warm welcome to KenMiller.
Good morning, A and C. My name is KenMiller, and I'm going to speak on resilience in the face of the known and the unknown. I want to see a show of hands to start with, and I want to see a show of hands if anybody has ever had a setback. Raise your hand. Oh yeah, I'm in the right place. Cool. Resilience, keeping it real definition, the ability to be happy, successful, again, after something difficult or bad has happened. My definition, a return to form with grace, dignity, and love. A return to form with grace, dignity, and love. That's the earliest known picture of me. I'm 6 years old. October 15, 1962, I was born to a white teenage prostitute. My dad was a black pimp and drug dealer. I was put up for adoption at birth. I was adopted by a white couple because my mother was Irish, and she wanted me to be adopted by a Catholic family. In my paperwork, you will see 3 months later, I went back into the system because they were a white couple and maybe my tan didn't go away. Okay. That's fine. Those are the cards I've been dealt. I did foster homes for 6 years. Look at the eyes on that 6-year-old child. When I was adopted at age 6, I could not read, I could not write, I could not tell time, I could not tie my shoes because they weren't teaching that in the foster homes that I was in. But luckily I was adopted by Irene and Sam Miller, and my mother taught me to read that first summer. Phonetic cards, 3x5, TH, PH, the, and I learned to read and fell in love with reading. By the time I was 17, I was a National Merit Scholar. I was accepted to Harvard, and I went to Dartmouth College. I go to college. I graduate 1984. I tell everybody I graduated with a degree in fraternity with a minor in history and English. Truth. I got out, went into the corporate world, and my graduation present from Dartmouth College was my first treatment center, first of 14. Within 3 years, I was homeless on the streets of Seattle. I was a hustler. I was what they call a runner. But the main thing I did, I was a male prostitute. That's what I did. Shame-based male prostitute on the streets of Seattle, Reno, Sacramento, Jackson, Mississippi. That's my truth. Resilience in the face of the known. September 22nd, 2004, that wave was coming for me. I woke up in a closet, called up my mother, and said, I need to go to treatment again for the 14th time. She said, Kenneth, I'll get you a ticket, one way, from Reno to Seattle. I went down there, sold a $10 rock of crack cocaine, so I had some money on the bus, and I was sentenced to 6 years in the penitentiary. It was my third felony, third time I'd gone. I spent 20 years on the streets, in the missions, and in penitentiaries and jails. I had that wave coming to me. And I'll never forget, I'm there in Reno, and I'm hemmed up, And I had a pair of shoes, no socks. I had a pair of shorts, no underwear. I had a T-shirt, and that's all the possessions I owned in the world. Ivy League graduate, worked for Kodak, worked for 3M Corporation, was this very successful business person at one time, and this is the level. But I knew what to expect. And so how I dealt with it is, number one, I had to see truth for what it was. I have an addiction, and I'm going back to the penitentiary for the third time. I'm sentenced to 6 years. I had to accept my circumstances. I had to prepare. I had to have courage. It's so important. I could talk about that for a while, but I had to have courage to accept the possibility of discomfort and pain as I got better. I had to have gratitude to be alive, to be a child of God, and I had to use the power of prayer. I go into the penitentiary. I worked on the mental, I worked on the physical, I worked on the emotional, and I worked on the spiritual. Because I said, if I'm the same person coming out of prison that I went going in for the third time, I'm going to have the same results. Resilience in the face of the unknown. We talked about the known. I knew that was coming. September 22nd, 14 years later, I'm cleaned up. I have my own business. I'm doing well. That is my high school sweetheart, Sandra Stuman. I get a call. I'm in Kodiak, Alaska. I'm a Rotarian. That's how square I was, okay? I'm at the conference, speaking, doing what I need to do, and I get a call. Ken, Sandra's in a coma. You need to come home. You need to go to the Mayo Clinic. She went there to get some tests. And I go there, and I was not expecting that. And my wife's laying on the gurney or laying in the hospital bed in a coma. I never got a chance to say goodbye. Never had that last conversation or conversation. That's the unknown. And the most important thing I had to do was I had to see truth for what it was. Your high school sweetheart, this woman that you've loved and adored for 30, 40 years, in and out of your addiction, is no longer with us. And I had to get out of myself, and I had to pray. That was so important. My final thoughts. Life is life. Fairness is an interpretation. People say, life's not fair. No, life is life. Truth is truth. Acceptance is a decision. Forgiveness is a blessing in both directions. We were born imperfect, therefore. Embrace and manifest love and grace in your journey. Today, I own 3 businesses. I have a beautiful new wife, my grandkid, Boo Boo. That's Boo Boo. That's me, and that's my joy. And so when I have the opportunity to speak from the stage and to share my truth, my story, I tell people I'm a BT-DT guy. Been there, done that. I talk from experience. But this is the key. That smile, and remember the 6-year-old. I am a child of God, and I am blessed today. Thank you.